last 10. Hart jumps it in and it's Waller. He spins into the end zone for the touchdown. Watching greatness on one end in LeBron. There's a dude with 35 in white getting it done defensively and then offense taking over the fight. Mama, there goes that man.
They have shared a brilliant championship battle, but the championship can only be won by one, and it's going Dutch in 2021. Max Verstappen, for the first time ever, is champion of the world.
No, he'd rather flash a random woman and just get it over with than steep that low.
Wings! Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Waterboy Experience. I am your host, the Waterboy himself, Davis McLemore, and we are here with a great show lined up for you this week. And it will be the last episode we do before we bid you adieu for the Christmas episode.
Kayfabe, baby.
Well, we're doing the Christmas episode on Christmas.
I know, but remember how we started it off? Kayfabe, motherfucker.
Yeah. Okay. Kayfabe. Anyways, we got an NFL packed episode this week, and I don't think we have any Formula One news.
I have rumors.
Rumors? I can't be sitting on rumors
and speculation, baby.
I can't be sitting on rumors and speculation, baby. You got to give me some tangible evidence here.
Okay, I'll do the helicopter then. Let me get my rope.
No, stop.
Wings! Hey, Red Bull gives you wings!
Ladies and gentlemen, the CEO and CFO of Nye Productions, the helicopter son of a gun, Mr. Jason Shaddix.
Hello, folks. Here I am. If you haven't heard me, we're a little bit drunk. We just drank a nice little miniature bottle of whiskey, Mr. Let me look at this.
I don't know the name of it.
Willet bourbon whiskey. It's a small miniature bottle worth $25, and the big bottle, what'd you say, 75, 85?
It was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And me and Davis were very curious on what it tasted like. He got it for me for Christmas, so thank you very much. I took the first sip, and I told him, this is just Jim Beam.
It's just Jim Beam. Anyways, let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. I want to talk about...
Actually, let me cut you off. Let's do the rumor first, because I know you're highly anticipated.
So you want to do Formula One first?
Yes, because this is the one thing.
Okay. I'll hear you out.
It is being speculated and rumored, baby, that the Saudis are going to buy McLaren, and the announcement is going to be next week.
Okay, this is kind of big news here. Interesting. Is it a surefire deal yet, or
rumors and speculation?
Okay, so it's like one of those things. If it happens, it'll happen next week.
Yep.
Okay. That's pretty cool. I mean, they've got them Saudis. They got money to throw around. So, would there be a name change, or would they just still be McLaren?
Aramco McLaren, probably, or Saudi Airlines McLaren. I don't like the idea of it. I really don't. But McLaren was desperate for cash for a while, so this may be a result of it. And they may still be in dire situations, which is kind of funny because they're upgrading their wind tunnel, and that's not cheap.
Yeah, no.
That's a couple million right there, at least 100. So I don't know what's going on with that. We'll see next week. Maybe it's like the Checo Perez retirement speech. Didn't happen.
Never happened.
But with that said, let's get started with our favorite segment, the one that you're highly anticipating, and I'll give a small recap. In the prior week, the Las Vegas Raiders had their worst game of the century.
Franchise history.
Yeah, especially in the 21st century. They went 0-3 against the Vikings in a horrible, horrible game. You want to talk about the definition of shit? That's that game. But then...
Uglier than your mother. That was uncalled for. Let's continue.
I hope Mama McLemore hears this.
I'm talking about your mother, not my mother.
Well, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree now.
Hey, I'm a Granny Smith.
Maybe after 3 days in the hot sun.
Anyways,
so then the Vegas Chargers, the Raiders decide, you know what? We're going to show everybody what it's like to face the Raiders. And they went up against the Chargers. And before halftime, well, just as halftime hit, this was the score.
42-0.
God damn. And then I thought, oh shit, they might beat the Miami Dolphins and they might beat the Cleveland Browns in the scoring, because at one point it was 63-7, right?
At one point, yes. The final score of the game was 63-21.
Yep. Which is impressive as fuck. I think the third most point scorer in the NFL game.
I believe so. Third most of all time in any game.
Second was the Dolphins this year.
Yeah.
And the first one was, what was it, 77 or 67?
The first amount was 72.
No. I'm talking about the year, because it was like,
Oh, I don't know the year.
it was like 67 or 77.
Yeah. Either one of those. But I know the most points ever scored in a game was 72, followed by Miami Dolphins 70, and then our 63, I believe. So it was definitely our highest scoring game in franchise history. It was one of the most impressive fucking performances we've ever had.
Towards the end, and you and I talked about this, towards the end, the Raiders were just gassed.
Well, it wasn't even that we were gassed. We were playing like our backups and our backups.
You were gassed.
Yeah.
Even Supermax had to take a breather.
Oh, yeah. And I think he sat out the entire fourth quarter.
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either. He started smoking it. Did you see him in the press conference afterwards? He's just shirtless. He's got the tattoos all over his body, and he's got the cigar in his mouth. And I was like, that's a fucking guy right there.
And then the way he exhaled immediately, inhaled the smoke.
He did the ghost inhale.
The ghost inhale.
That's impressive to do that with a cigar. But I told you after I rewatched the highlights for this game, and I was kind of thinking about it, and I was looking at the plays we were making, I thought to myself, this is different. Like, we're doing things on the offensive side of the ball that we have never probably ever even thought of doing. I mean, we were running wildcat. We were running jet sweeps. We were doing all different kinds of these fancy RPO plays. And then, of course, we're doing the flea flicker, and that's how we got one of our touchdowns was Aiden O'Connell threw it back to Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers threw it into the end zone to Devontae Adams. Best wide receiver in the NFL, by the way, in case everybody didn't know. But the Raiders' offense the entire year has always been the one thing that has really plagued us. Our defense has been good.
No, it hasn't.
Yes.
No, it hasn't. We have complained about that defense.
We've complained about them before, but they've been good for the better part of the year.
No, they haven't.
Look at what they just did. They had three.
Have you listened to our previous episodes?
They had 3 forced fumbles in the first quarter.
All right, cowgirl fan.
They had 2 pick sixes in that game. One of them by Jack Jones that looked fucking beautiful.
It was.
They had a fumble return for a touchdown. So they scored 3 defensive touchdowns. Isn't that crazy?
What about last week?
Last week, think about it. That was a pretty good defensive performance. They only held the Vikings to 3 points.
And the offense was drizzling shit.
The offense was the drizzling shits and couldn't do anything about it. But if our defense sucked, it would have been 31-0.
Yeah.
So our defense was good last game. It's just our offense was really, really, really bad.
And they did a 180, which congrats on them. That was an impressive game. Like, I was when you sent me the clip, I was like, there's no fucking way. I was like, is that the final score? And I looked at it and I'm like, this is the second quarter. And then I saw the halftime. And I'm like, oh my God. And I texted you immediately, somebody's going to get fired on the Chargers.
And you were right.
I called it.
Officially, what's his name? I don't even remember this little putz's name. Brian Staley. I believe that was his name. Well, he's out. And immediately after the game,
Brandon Staley.
Brandon Staley. Thank you very much. Not like his name even matters anymore.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
How much do you want to bet the firing note was typed up during halftime?
I think it was typed up before the end of the second quarter. But after the game, they had the press conference and everything, and apparently someone asked the question. They asked something along the lines of, "How does this make you feel as a head coach to suffer this big of a loss and everything?"
Oh, I remember this.
And basically all he said was, "Well, these types of games happen."
No, they don't.
They shouldn't.
It's happened like 3 times.
3 times. And you're number 3. Guess what, bitch?
And everybody was saying that you were going to be number 1, bitch.
Nope. And he's, fortunately, and I'm not pulling for the Chargers here, but fortunately, he is gone. And it is rumored that Jim Harbaugh, the head coach of the University of Michigan, who is the number 1 team in the college football playoffs currently,
Yeah, right.
had a discussion with the Chargers office today about coming in to fill in their head coaching spot. I'm not saying it's a good fit. I'm just saying that's interesting. Another candidate supposedly is Bill Belichick, but I think that would be a mistake. Okay.
I do want to mention that their GM was also fired. Tom
Wait,
Telesco.
really?
Yes.
Damn. Well, they're cleaning house over there.
Giff Smith, the team's outside linebackers coach, has been named interim head coach. Jojo Wooden, the Chargers director of player personnel, will step into the general manager role on an interim basis.
In the meantime, they search for their next head coach.
Yes.
Well, good luck, Chargers. Let's talk about some people that had some other good luck this past.
Well, let's start with me and my team, the Lions. We beat the Broncos.
Congratulations, good win. That's
42-17.
Solid win. Yeah.
Decent win.
Oh, yeah. And hey, you got to give credit where credit's due. The Broncos are not a bad team, but they didn't decide to play this week, so.
Oh, here's one. The Bills. They finally broke their losing streak. They beat the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. The Bills.
31-10. 31-10.
The Bills are turning it on here late in the year. I'm a little worried.
It's the Bills.
And they were playing the Cowboys.
Which, by the way, I saw those comments. Like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, I got to look at the comment section. I looked at the comment section. Do you know what the top comment was?
Fire Mike McCarthy.
No. The top comment was, and I quote this, "Well, the Bills only won because we were playing in the rain." And everybody else was responding with, "So you guys were playing in the rain and the Bills were playing in sunshine, so it was only raining during your plays? Is that what you're telling us?"
Essentially.
Yeah. So I thought that was a funny little stupidity by the Cowgirls. And then everybody's also going with like, well, you guys are shitting on us because, you didn't shit on the 49ers when they lost their game or the Eagles. And I'm just thinking, because their fan bases aren't as obnoxious as you are.
Plus, it wasn't like outrageously embarrassing losses like this one was.
Yes. And don't forget, you guys were shitting on Dak Prescott because he got tattooed while under anesthesia, which still makes us chuckle. And here's another thing. They were saying Dak for MVP. What has he done to deserve
Absolutely
MVP?
not.
I'd rather they give MVP to Taylor Swift for the bump in the ratings before they give it to Dak.
All right, let's talk real quick. The leader in the MVP ratings right now is Brock Purdy. Do you agree? You don't agree, do you?
So let's talk about the Eagles losing to the Seahawks.
Hold on. Don't avoid the question here because we gotta.
They fumbled it in the last minute of the play.
Brock Purdy
when I see the ring.
When you see the ring.
When I see the ring.
And that's fair. I'm not blaming you for that.
I'll agree. When I see the fucking ring.
But guess who the number 2 contender right behind him is?
Who?
His running back, Christian McCaffrey.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that.
You can see. Wait, so you can see Christian McCaffrey over Brock Purdy?
Yeah.
You've got a point, though. I mean, that whole offense is tied together by CMC.
Yeah, but I'm not. Look, I'm not gonna suck their dick after I've said shit about them until they win. It's like the Cowgirls. We're not gonna stop shitting on them until they win.
He's not gonna suck your dick until he's licked your balls first, guys. Let's be real.
Well, hold on.
So you wanted to talk about the Eagles?
Yes,
That
third
right?
loss in a row.
Yeah.
They fumbled it on the last fucking minute of the game. Dude, it wasn't even like, oh, fuck, well, yeah, the Seahawks got the better of us. No. Everybody was elsewhere. And then that shot, the fucking shot that the Seahawks threw, and the guy catched it, and there was nobody there. Like, you could see one of the defenders literally turn his head around, and you could see it in his eyes for the Eagles that they were like, oh, fuck, we fucked up.
Yeah.
So it was a great win for the Seahawks. Beautiful win.
Oh, big win. I just can't understand how the Eagles can let Drew Lock walk all over him like that. I don't get it.
Hands off to Drew. Hands off.
You know what? You mean hats off?
Hands off.
Hands off of him, guys.
Hey, we just had cheap whiskey. Cheap whiskey that he got scammed
And
on.
I did show you that game-winning touchdown throw.
Yes.
Beautiful throw.
Yes. Also, Niners beat the Cardinals 45-29.
Expected.
Chiefs beat the Patriots 27-17.
A little closer than it should have been, but, whatever.
Dolphins, like, this is something we haven't talked about. Dolphins against the Jets 30-0.
Really?
Yes. And did you hear the rumor? Aaron's supposed to start this week.
I think that's a very bad idea.
Oh, it is, but let them burn.
Oh, let them burn. Yes.
I said it was a horrible idea to even consider hiring Rodgers.
To either hire him in the first place, but also to bring him back after all of this. How many plays are you giving him until he gets hurt again? It took him 6 plays last time.
He ain't making it out of the first quarter.
Okay.
Who they playing, though? That's my question.
That's a good question.
Well, he might have a chance. Commanders.
Okay, yeah. I thought you were about to say, oh no.
We're playing them.
It's the fucking Ravens. Oh no.
Okay, look. Oh my God. So they got the Commanders on the 24th. On the 28th, they have the Browns.
Oh no.
Flacco, their former backup quarterback, who was put in after after he got injured, and then they benched him.
Who has been fucking performing like nobody's fucking business.
0-30.
Who?
Zach. Yeah.
No, I was talking.
Oh, you're talking about Joe.
I was talking about Joe Flacco.
Yeah,
not Zach
Joe.
Wilson.
Well, I mean, last week Zach was performing phenomenal, but no, Joe Flacco. I told you he is a great backup quarterback when somebody's hurt. Not a starter, but he'll get the job done.
He just came off of the couch and starts slinging that thing like he's been in the league consistently for the past 4 or 5 years.
Well, think about it like this: he's like a good vibrator. He's good when you got to take it out of the out of the night case.
Where was that going? I want to point out a game that I'm very excited about, and it's coming up. The Ravens are taking on the San Francisco 49ers.
So Ravens are going to win? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that. I think because you've doubted me all year long about the 49ers.
considering I have been right about a lot of things about football, which is surprisingly funny because I've only been into it for like a year and you've done it for what, 21 years?
Just about. But if the Niners can win this game, you can trust me, because the Ravens are looking to be the number 1 seed in the AFC currently. The AFC is really up for grabs, but the Ravens are starting to put their foot down. So maybe it's a Super Bowl preview. Maybe it's not. Maybe we'll see some other teams in there. Maybe we won't. I don't know. We'll see. But that game will show us who's real and who's not.
It would. Now, one more game to talk about. It's pathetic. It really is.
Pathetic.
This team has had only one win the entire season till this past Sunday.
Oh, great heavens.
The tickets, the cheap seats, were literally 47 cents. It costs you more in fees than it is to buy the actual ticket, which the fees were like, I think, $4, something like that.
Oh, so you wouldn't actually get in the stadium with like fucking pennies.
The championship, like the state championship for high school football, outdrew the attendance for this game.
Oh my God.
The Carolina Panthers played against the Falcons, the Atlanta Falcons, at home in what had to be one of the shittiest, most boring game in existence since last week's game against the Vikings and the Raiders. And that's saying something. The Panthers found a way to win 9-7.
What a high-scoring game there. That was just a shootout between two fantastic teams. What was the attendance? What was the box office?
So it is being reported that the entire attendance was, drum roll please, 5,200 people.
Oh!
Allegedly.
Allegedly. And is that including the teams, the players, the staff?
Yes.
The turnstiles, Tony, the turnstiles.
Their families didn't even show up.
Why would you?
They tried to give tickets to homeless people, but they said that they weren't that desperate.
They're like, sure, who's playing? The Panthers and the Falcons. I'd rather not.
It looked like an AEW show. It really did.
And it's not like the NFL's fault or anything. It's just, these are two teams that nobody gives a fuck about. What reason do you have to go to that game? Both your teams are not going into the playoffs, so what's the point, you know?
I'm not sure, man. I'm really not sure. You know, now I wonder how much the press, like the premium press box, how much the tickets were for there.
$10, probably.
You're being very generous.
Very generous, probably. But $10, that'd be nice. If you can get into a press box for $10 at any NFL game, I would go.
If you got the cheap seats, okay, if you got the cheap seats and you decided to, scroll down to the bottom, right in front of the team.
Right.
Would they even say anything?
Probably not. They'd just be like, yeah, whatever. There's plenty of room. Just make yourself at home. Take up 2 rows if you want. It doesn't matter.
But yeah, that was fucking pathetic. But anyway, that for me was the review for the games for this past week. Now, what is that game that you were telling us that you were very excited to watch?
I already told you.
Oh shit, we did do that.
Yeah, Ravens and the 49ers. I'm looking forward to that one.
I'm looking forward to the game on at 12 p.m. on Christmas Day.
I am too.
The Raiders versus the Chiefs.
It'll be a big one because the Chiefs are suffering, and I'm hoping we can do whatever we did on Thursday night. I'm hoping we can do it again. Because like I said, this is a different offensive scheme entirely. Maybe if just Antonio, whatever you did on Thursday against the Chargers, do that against the Chiefs. I don't even care if you lose. If you at least come close, you would have won the head coaching starting job.
If you win the game, you will get that job.
If
on
you
the
win
spot.
the game, you're hired. Done.
You're in the Hall of Fame.
If you lose the game and you come within 3 points, they'll give you the job probably. If you get blown out, they won't give you the job. I'm sorry. But that's all you got to do is just perform.
And then on Christmas Eve, we got the Lions versus the Vikings, so a week off.
Oh. Are we going to talk about those games?
Not
directly after they've happened?
directly after they happen.
Okay. Unless something crazy happens.
Unless something crazy happens.
Yeah.
Because we got the week off.
Because, when news breaks, we send it back for a refund.
I ain't recording. I ain't recording. Unless somebody dies, all right?
Patrick Mahomes found guilty of child molestation.
Don't blame it on Patrick. We all know it was Jackson.
Oh,
Allegedly.
I think it was both of them.
Allegedly. Well, anyway, that has been this week's episode. It's a short one because we are tired and we're recording this very late.
And we got to record the Christmas special. Kayfabe has been broken.
The Christmas special hasn't even been released yet. We haven't even finished recording it.
But that's what I was saying. We have to finish recording it.
Oh, God damn it. All right, sign us up, white boy.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Waterboy Experience. You can follow us on Twitter, or now known as X, formerly known as Twitter. Or you can follow us on TikTok at the Waterboy Pod, or on Instagram, also the Waterboy Pod, which I just figured out the login for. So now I'm going to get back into posting on there, and we're going to have some fun. And
I had to log in the entire time.
yeah, apparently you had the login, and I didn't. I kind of guessed what it was. Big Candy Nipples 4000. And I was like, holy shit, that was the password the whole time.
That's not a password. That's a safe word.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Waterboy Experience, and peace.
Second and goal just outside the 10.